Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on Upptalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say Upptalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Will create compensation plan of sorry. Each plan will be having different name. If you're getting a salary plan, here in a few things that you need to note. Here is whenever you're creating any plan, be it salary, be it merit, be it stock, be it bonus, everything you know will be based on I know the apply if the percentage will be there. If you're selecting this person to select this apply if the percentage based on employee joining date and you know whatever the standard time that you would have given for payment. This will be this checkbox and will be enabled to calculate based on working number of working hours that employee has made. But of working hours or 8 hours per day, and I've joined in the middle of month, and for that 15 days whatever number of work, number of hours that I would have worked, I'll be getting in a kind of compensation for the salary plan. Whatever salary plan that I'm creating, that will be calculated based on the 50%. If the percentage is nothing but full time equivalent percentage, based on number of hours that employee will be working, your salary plan will be calculated and it will be assigned to that one. And the other important thing that you need to know is exclude from merit process. Every organization will be having a certain time periods. You know that employees should be eligible for merit process. If employee has joined before June, they will be eligible for annual compensation review process that is coming up in the month of October. If employee has joined after June, employee will not be eligible for the review process. Such kind of things, say every organization will be having. If you're setting up a salary plan, you have an employee who will be checking this one. You will be checking this one or you will be unchecking this one. For every year, and I will be creating a review process template. Annual review process template for 2022, annual review process template for 2021. When I'm creating this template, I'll be defining when hire date is greater than I know June, then not eligible kind of rule I'll be defining. When I'm creating the 2022 for that particular arena, I'll be defining people who are part of earlier, periodical, they should be all coming eligible for this review process. It's completely no review process template. You'll be defining if employee is not becoming eligible for current annual review process. Definitely, they will be become eligible for next year annual review process. That has to. Obviously, they have to write. In compensation review process, will be defining certain time period for the current year. Based on that current year, employees will be becoming eligible for that particular annual review process period. If you're doing this one and this is a play, this will be not calculated based on players 100%. Whatever the salary plan that you are giving, amount you'll be specifying here, whatever amount you'll be specifying under salary plan, that will be 100% applicable irrespective of FT. Here, probably I'll take the eligibility rule that I've created yesterday to this organization, that whatever salary plan that I'm defining will be applicable for this organization. All this will need to be attached at a compensation package that I'm noting down, and the next comes will create one more plan like alliance plan. Every organization will be having some kind of alliances will be offering to employees, like fuel alliance, communication alliance kind of things. Similarly, here also you'll be having same options that we have seen, and when you wanted to have your alliance plan to be reimbursable based on the submissions that employee will be making, you'll be checking this checkbox. When you check this checkbox, these are reimbursable amounts. The employee will be providing some kind of proof, to, let's say, fuel elements is there. They have to provide a kind of, fuel receipts in order to reimburse their expenses and all. Such kind of a following plan is reimbursable. You'll be selecting this one. But if it is not reimbursable, if just general pay, you'll be not selecting this one, and you'll be selecting whatever amount based plan that you wanted to give. You'll be selecting. If it is amount based plan, you'll be selecting, and if it is a percentage on your compensation, it will be selecting this one. If there is a specific unit other than compensation out of your compensation, if you're specifying any kind of specific amount, you'll be specifying unit based plan. But I'm selecting a kind of amount based plan where I'll be defining some specific amount for this compensation for this alliance. Here also you have the same options what we have seen here. Let's compensate. The element would be different. Here we'll be selecting alliance. Here probably the eligible detail that we have defined here. This will be creating the plans, compensation plans like that. We have a number of plans, stock plan, merit plan, and all you'll be defining like this, and you'll be specifying whatever eligibility rule that you wanted to have that particular plan should be applicable for. You'll be specifying. Now we have eligibility rule. Now we have a compensation plan created. What is our next step? As part of the process that we have discussed, a compensation package has to be created, which groups both the grades and plans. Whatever we have created, that should be, a compensation plan will be mixing up the things. This is a kind of where you'll be performing both whatever you have created in earlier steps, the eligibility rules, the compensation grades, plans, and all. You'll be combining all this together to make a compensation package. this company's package be applicable for complete organization. People who are getting hired under this organization should be applicable for this or this complete organization, whatever eligibility rule that we are giving here. Whenever you are offering this compensation package to all the employees, probably not. I mean, I would have taken, one organization which would have created, but in real time scenarios, you'll be specifying, let's say, for attitude, for executive leadership team, you have created one organization, and whatever the plans that you have defined for the specific to leadership team and grades that you have defined specific to leadership team, you'll be giving them a kind of separate package and you'll be attaching here. Whenever you're attaching plans here, whatever eligibility rules that you have defined when you are a compensate, when you are creating plans, that will be shown here. Whatever eligibility rule that you have defined here, it will be showing there. The moment you set up the plan, automatically whatever eligibility rules that you have defined for these plans will be populated here. Now you're defining a compensation package which is applicable for the entire organization. And for the entire organization, probably people may be from India, people may be from, UK, people from maybe different countries for each country. You've defined specific pay range, which you have defined in compensation grade when you've created and also similarly plans. You have defined a specific plan, and for each plan you have defined which who has to be eligible for this one. And now when you click on this, you'll be able to submit package name already. Name already exists. Now this compensation package has been created whenever you're hiring an employee. Whenever you're hiring an employee from anywhere from that particular country where you have defined a compensation grade and plans for the particular employees, you will be offering this compensation package to that team member. This is compensation team will be taking care as part of hiring process. Once you know HR, people in share the hiring process. For any candidate as per business process routing process, there will be a step called proposed post compensation. Business process step in hiring when hiring an employee that will send a kind of notification that this employee is joining with this job profile, with this job code, and the company has to be proposed for this employee. Compensation. Administrator will be reviewing what compensation range or what grade that has been defined for this employee. Administrator will be attaching that particular compensation package to that particular employee. That the compensation, a complete mixture of the grades and plans will be provided to that particular employee, and whatever alliances that you assign there based on the eligibility rule, you will be giving that to employee based on the eligibility rule that you have defined. That's how we typically configure the compensation package. Compensation package is a kind of, solid kind of in a group which mixtures both plans and groups and offers to the employee. That is one thing. This is what we have completely in regular compensation. And probably I would have created a great profiles. I know there's a kind of sample things, but in real time, you'll be getting actual requirements from your compensation team. This is the job profile with whom I know. This package has to be, this compensation grade has to be attached. And when recruiter is taking that with hiring process, that particular grade pay range that would have defined in grade will be offered to that employee. And similarly, a package, whatever we have created will be attached to that employee compensation package. If you go to employee profile, we have seen this. I go to Julie Boyle's compensation, a package will be offered to this employee management compensation change. This was the package that has been created. If you see here, whatever eligibility rule that we have defined has been created here for this specific organization. And similar to come down, whatever compensation grades that employee is applicable for. We have created similar as how we know we have created those compensation grades has been assigned here. And similarly plans, whatever compensation plans are part of this employee is a part of, alliance plan and merit plan. Other plans, whatever stock plan, everything based on completely organization requirement, that particular eligibility rule would have defined and would have been attached to that particular package. That's how we typically configure compensation package to employee profile. When you get a chance to edit any kind of compensation packages, changing the eligibility rules, it typically need to access this compensation package and edit that one. And if you wanted to make changes, you can edit. And if you wanted to change any kind of rules to that one, and you can make those changes. That is how we know you'll play around with regular compensation. There are only 4 kind of changes that you will be doing, or 4 kind of creations that you'll be performing. One is great with the attachment of profiles, and the other one is a compensation plan. The other one is package. Once you have the package, you'll be defining the eligibility rule. And the last step is you'll be assigning this eligibility rule to the compensation components. These are all the 5 steps. You know that you'll be performing an entire regular compensation process. But when it comes to enhancements, you'll be editing the same. And when you want it to create, you'll be creating the same. Everything will be within these 5 only. These are all the 5 steps. You know that you'll be compensation flow. You'll be defining grades. You'll be having plans, and you'll be grouping both grades and plans together to make a compensation package and whatever eligibility rule that you have defined, either in an initial step or after. Also, once you define the grades and plans, you can define eligibility rule based on the package that you have defined. And then once you have the eligibility rule, you'll be assigning this eligibility rule to the components that you have created. Which component has to be under the eligibility rule you'll be defining. Anything related to regular compensation part, you will be within these 5 steps only. Other than these 5 steps, you'll be not getting. Probably we would have created 2 plans. One is a salary plan and the other one is an alliance plan. Similarly, there could be another plan called merit plan or stock plan. Only plan would be different, but steps and defining eligibility rules will be within these 5 steps, within this flow only. You'll not have any other flow related to regular compensation. But advanced compensation is a little different, which will not follow this flow. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.